Welcome to a Cicero Talk. Today I'm standing in the most famous square of Istanbul. This is the site of the once grand hippodrome of ancient Constantinople, Byzantium. These days there's hardly anything left to remind us of that great spectacular building, except for a couple of monuments that have miraculously survived. One of those monuments is right behind me now. It's traditionally called the Serpent Column. It's supposed to be the bodies of three serpents entwined to make up the column, and on the three heads of the serpents, long since gone, there was a massive golden cauldron. So in its date it must have been a very impressive monument. Now it dates back to the year 479 BC, and it commemorates the great Greek victory at Plataea over the Persian armies commanded by the High King Xerxes. And Plataea, the Battle of Plataea, is remarkable for two reasons. The first would be that after Plataea, the Persians never returned to the west again. They never invaded the Greek states again. They even withdrew from the shores of present-day Turkey, which was then called Asia Minor. They were fatally weakened. They never really recovered from the defeat at Plataea, so that 140 years later Alexander could march his soldiers into the Persian heartland, defeat it, conquer the empire, crown himself High King of his new Hellenistic empire as Alexander the Great, and thus pave the way for the Romans when they eventually entered the world stage. The other reason that makes this column so remarkable is that it was fought, the battle was fought by an alliance of Greek city-states, because in those days Greece as a nation did not exist. There was no capital of Greece, no king of Greece. What we know as Greece today was just a collection of independent city-states, and they didn't like each other. They traditionally fought bloody wars amongst each other. They had their own languages, their own coinage, their own mythological heroes, their own calendars. Except for Plataea and all the battles fought against the Persians, they united. They put up one united front against the common enemy, and they defeated that common enemy. And after the battle, they found the Persian treasures. And out of those treasures, they put up this column. And they erected the column right in front of the Temple of Apollo, of the Oracle of Apollo in Delphi, because although those city-states hardly shared anything with each other, they all knew, they all felt that in their hearts there was something they had in common, and Delphi was sacred to them all. 800 years after Plataea, Constantine the Great renamed Byzantium Constantinople and made it the capital of his Roman Empire. And he had the column removed from Delphi and put up here, in the heart of the hippodrome, in the heart of his new city. Because he knew that the message the column carried was that the West had defeated the East and would do so over and over again. Of course, 1100 years after Constantine, Mehmed II came, and the Ottomans, in their turn, they defeated the Byzantines, and they conquered Byzantium, renamed it Istanbul, and removed everything, almost everything, that could remind one of the ancient glory. The serpent column survived. They hacked off its heads, the cauldron disappeared, but the column still stands today. And I think its message, it's still important in our day. Its message that united we stand. And however great our differences may be, if we work together, we can face any danger, any enemy, and we can defeat it. Still, I think there is a sad side to this message as well, because the parallels to Plataea would be obvious. 1918, 1945. Lands, countries didn't share a lot. Had their own languages, their own coinage, cultures, briefly united, put up one united front to defeat the common enemies, and succeeded. And what we saw after 1918, after 1945, and what we saw after Plataea, always the same story. The Allies fell out. The Allies fought each other. The Allies became enemies again. It all started anew. So that, I think, is the most important message, the serpent column, as it stands today. Working together, that's the solution. But we have to remind ourselves every day that that truly is the only solution. Because always bear in mind that history is like a never-ending story. And whoever wrote its script made sure that everything connects to everything else. See you next time on the Cicero Company channel.